A community's plans for land use and development is an important factor in limiting the damage of hazard events like hurricanes, flooding, and wildfires, and for the long-term impacts of climate change. Dozens of plans can guide a community's economic development, parks and open space, and transportation networks. When combined, they paint a larger picture of how a community plans future land use and development patterns.
I'm Jaimie Masterson, Associate Director for Engagement for the Institute for Sustainable Communities at Texas A&M University.
My name is Phil Berke. I'm a research professor with the Center for Community Resilience and the Environment at the Institute for the Environment at University of North Carolina. When these plans conflict with one another, they can leave a community more vulnerable to hazards, potentially worsening the impacts of a major storm.
Making sure these plans are aligned and considering how to best protect vulnerable communities is key to long-term financial viability, health, and wellness.
The Plan Integration for Resilience Scorecard is a tool developed as part of the Coastal Resilience Center of Excellence, and it helps ensure that plan conflicts are addressed and communities are properly protected. Researchers Phil Berke of the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill and Jaimie Masterson of Texas A&M University have now partnered with the American Planning Association, the nation's largest organization of planning professionals, to ensure the scorecard is applied to communities across the country.
The Resilience Scorecard is implemented by Coastal Resilience Center researchers with community planning staff to determine, one, challenges in local capacity to proactively plan, including interorganizational communication and coordination, the ability to develop integrated policy solutions, and two, changes in outcomes, including levels of integration of mitigation actions in local networks of plans, strength of land use and development regulations, public investments for mitigation, and physical and social vulnerability.
Social vulnerability, an important component of the scorecard, encompasses things such as housing units relocated from hazard areas, number of low-income people exposed to floods, and acres of hazard area conserved as open space. The Plan Integration for Resilience Scorecard was piloted in several communities in the last few years, including Nashua, New Hampshire, Rockport, Texas, and Norfolk, Virginia.
My name is Joe DeAngelis. I'm a research manager with the American Planning Association. My work centers around climate resilience and hazard mitigation planning for land use planners. Plan Integration for Resilience Scorecard among a wider array of planners, primarily APA members. There are a lot of tools out there that are intended to help planners to integrate many different kinds of plans at the local level. The goal of those types of integration exercises that folks might do is to align different parts of different plans with each other with the ultimate goal of making sure they all work together. Plans aren't conflicting with each other. Your zoning code isn't butting up against your coastal management plan, and you're actually building resilience in a substantive way. In practice, Jaimie and Phil's method, I think, is very different. The goal is the same. The goal is to integrate and align your plans and ensure that they're coordinated with each other so that you're building resilience over time. But the method itself is much more interesting, and I think more beneficial and achievable for local planners because it's a spatial method. Those scores will hopefully tell you whether there are pieces of different plans that are in direct conflict with one another, and are they or are they not actually building resilience over the long term. There's a tremendous amount of appeal, I think, for planners, especially our membership, infrastructure or capital improvements planning as an example right off the bat, that I think that the Plan Integration for Resilience Scorecard method that they've put together has tremendous ability for communities to save on costs and invest their money much more effectively at a local level. The cost benefits, I think, are tremendous if communities are thinking long-term in that way.